I'm heading along the South African coast to a place called Pinnacle Point. Today, it's a playground for the rich. But during the construction of this golf course, archaeologists discovered something amazing deep beneath the fairway. This could be the oldest known dwelling of our species anywhere in the world.
So this is where you've been digging?
This is the oldest part of the cave.
What are the dates here then as we go down through these layers?
These layers date from 130 to 167,000 years ago.
It's just so incredibly ancient.
It's amazing.
Did you know how important what you were excavating really was?
Not until we got those dates. But yeah, amazing, stunning.
The evidence in this cave reveals that those ancient families were behaving in ways quite unlike previous species of human.
Well, Kyle, that's not from this cave, is it? Because I recognise this. This is a hand axe, isn't it?
That's correct. Now, that's more typical of what you would find from about 1.5 million years ago to about 300,000 years ago.
So what sort of thing were you finding in the cave then?
Okay, well, tools like these, blades and points, are much more typical of what we find in this cave. Made on quartzite, locally available on the beach down here. And in our oldest levels here, alongside these types of tools, we also have these very small bladelet tools.
These are tiny.
What could such minute blades have been used for?
Obviously, these weren't used just in your hand like this, so how would they have been used?
It's more likely that those were set in some kind of a handle to make a compound tool, maybe something more like this. This is a series of small blades set into a handle for use as a knife.
Yes, I think that would work. So you think that's how these stone tools were used then, as a knife?
That's one possibility, and it's also possible they would have been used for hunting weapons.
Kyle and his team have discovered you can make some lethal weapons with these bladelets.
This one looks particularly vicious, I think.
This is one interpretation of how those small back blades might have been mounted. The advantage to this would be that there's these barbs that would prevent the tip from pulling out immediately and would inflict a greater injury.
Gianluca, where are we? This is the Bourbon Tunnel.
Yeah.
So this is the escape tunnel
Yeah.
for the king to go from the palace in the Piazza del Plebiscito
Yeah.
to the
barracks.
To the military barracks. Wow.
The king was very worried, Ferdinand II, so he decided to dig a tunnel.
But this is a huge tunnel.
Yeah,
You don't...
because he was a king.
It's so big because the Bourbon tunnelers joined together all the tuffo quarries under here that had helped to build Naples. And its uses didn't end there. After World War II, it was even a dump for abandoned vehicles. As our scanning team begins the task of making sense of this labyrinth, we're going to look at what went on down here during the Second World War.
Come with me, I want to show you something from the World War II. A bomb shelter.
Naples was the most bombed Italian city in World War II. It's estimated that Allied raids killed more than 20,000 people.
Look there. We have found the beds, the original. And the toys for children.
Oh.
Look, come in me. You can read alarm 26 April 43. And here, noi vivi. We are still alive. Because it was better to stay than stay outside under the bombing.
Nearly 200 kilometers of tunnels were cleared and electricity cables laid to cater for the hundreds of thousands of Neapolitans forced to shelter from Allied bombing. But life went on.
When we dig here, we found this green color, as you can see.
Are you sure you want to be doing that?
Try, please. Don't be afraid.
Is that hair lotion?
Yeah, a very old.
That's like when you go to the old barber shop.
Exactly.
How?
70 years old.
70 years.
It works.
And it hasn't changed. I mean,
Yeah.
That's incredible. Do you use it yourself occasionally when you're down here?
No, I prefer not. Okay.
But that is extraordinary.
Yes, very nice.
I love the fact that this tunnel was originally built to save one man, a king. It never did, but it ended up saving thousands of people as a bomb shelter during the Second World War. This is going to be special. I've never seen the treasures I've been promised down here before. This is Baiae's lost harbour, where the notorious Caligula is said to have reacted to a prophecy that he would never be emperor until he rode on horseback across the water of the bay by tethering 4,000 ships together from this harbour wall and trotting across.
That was my first sighting of the Portus Julius. What's magic is that you can follow the grand monumentality of the lines, the solid masonry that's still there, straight out to sea and then across the bay. You can imagine that those walls doing a pretty good job of protecting the fleet.
Now I want to experience the posh villas, and as these watery gems have sunk even deeper beneath the waves, I'll need to scuba dive for this.
This is absolutely incredible. I could do with a little champagne, I think, at this moment in time. So we're in one of the rooms of one of those posh fancy villa owners, and I am currently in the process of uncovering this gentleman's mosaic floor. If only this mosaic could talk.
The mosaic floor isn't the only treat. The statues in this Roman villa are now faithful replicas so that enthusiasts can still share the magic of this lost world.
There was a wonderful story that in this dining room there was a channel of seawater that the plates of exotic food floated on around the diners. It was the Yosushi moving belt of the ancient world. So there's a wonderful irony that now this is itself underwater, and the fish that once graced the tables now rule supreme down here. I absolutely love it. This is the first time that I've been able to see this underwater world. Lost in time, wrapped in silence, as the sea levels have risen and the earth has fallen.
What a great place to experience.
Wow, look at this. So is this the front door?
Yeah, so now we're entering from the east side to the solar temple of Neo-Sera from the 5th dynasty. And here is exactly the main entrance. It's a corridor, big corridor, coming, we're close, we don't see the sun yet.
No.
And suddenly you come out here in the courtyard and you have the sun, shocking you.
Once this temple was bustling with people making offerings and priests performing ceremonies.
Look at this. This is the floor. Let's climb up.
This is actually what they'd be walking on. My goodness. And
Were they walking or were they on their knees? It is written in the walls just behind there and there. You have to be on your knees, in fact. It is exactly like the pilgrimage.
That pilgrimage culminated in offerings for the sun god Ra, delivered to the central altar. This is the original from 4,500 years ago.
Here we shall come with the main offering, and there we shall put it here. In the middle, you see this round circle. This is Ra. This is Ra.
The temple dedicated to Ra was a religious focus and an important source of wealth. The offerings were redistributed to the thousands of people who lived and worked here.
I mean, bringing offering is paying taxes. Well, we are today, we pay all taxes, so that's how it works.
What I've really understood is the fact that the sun is so central to the entire Egyptian worldview, and right here it's utterly manifest in such a simple form. Looking at that table, that offering table, you can see it, the sun right in the middle. It's the center of everything, it's the bringer of life, it's the creator.
Rising above the altar was the dominant structure of the temple. The obelisk, focusing attention on the sun's rays. This was Old Kingdom architecture at its best. Simple and striking.
I've come to the heart of the Campi Flegrei, to the Roman town of Baiae, for my very own introduction to the underworld.
In ancient Roman times, this was known as the agora, or the workplace of Hephaestus, of Vulcan, the god who worked with fire and lava to create the great weapons of the gods themselves. Hercules was supposed to have come here and defeated the Titans. And you can imagine them seeing this all around them. Boiling lakes of mud at over 200 degrees C, sulfuric streams spewing into the air. This was where the Romans came to get just as close as one would ever want to do to the underworld.
I'm working with a team of speleologists. They're going to take me into a man-made tunnel that, when it was discovered in the 1960s, was thought to be the mythical entrance leading to the river Styx.
I'm quite looking forward to this journey into the underworld. In the ancient Greek and Roman myths and stories, it's only the mad, the bad, and the utterly heroic that decide to make this journey.
It's the fact that this is not only going into the earth, into the hillside, but it's going down at the same time, isn't it? You really do feel like you're traveling down into the center of the earth. It does feel like being in somebody's armpit.
I'm now having to go, definitely with much bended knee, completely bended back. This really does feel like it could go on forever. And the temperature is definitely rising. The geothermal energy of this incredible area of the world, so seismically active, so on the edge of tectonic forces that have shaped this landscape. You're going down at the same time, down, down, down. But who knows who's waiting for us at the end? You really want to let a sleeping giant lie. You don't want to be the one who wakes it up.
Well, here we are, finally arriving at the river Styx. Got a chance to put my hand in the waters. I hope it isn't the fabled river forgetfulness of the underworld. Tepid here, and you can see that the water stretches far back. They dived this when they first discovered it in the 60s and found the hot thermal springs that turned this water into a very warm, well, 60 degrees back then, but nowadays it's more in the high 20s. You can understand coming here why people would have thought in ancient times that this might be one of the routes into the underworld. But in reality, I think there's a much more simple but also satisfying explanation.
The ancients thought it was easy to get into the underworld, but much more tricky to get out. So I'm relieved to make it back to the surface.